I'm going to share with you guys one subtle tweak that we made in our land investing business that allowed us to convert a higher percentage of our buyers and ultimately increase the revenue and profit within our land investing business from this one simple tweak. Hey guys, this is Sumner from landinvestor.co coming to you from beautiful Southern Oregon. Give this video a thumbs up because it's gorgeous out here. So before we dive into this, I'm going to give you guys a little bit of a story to set the frame here. Now, when I first started in the world of land investing, like most folks, I started on a budget. And so all the platforms that I was using to generate buyer leads were all free platforms. Call it Facebook, call it Craigslist. I even used OfferUp, Instagram, TikTok. And this was beautiful because getting started, it was very, very easy to go and post properties on there. The barrier to entry is very low and there's typically no real cost associated with it, although we'll cover that here in a little bit. From what I've seen, I'm not the only one that does this. In fact, it seems like most newer land investors, this is exactly how they start. And what's great is you start posting properties on these platforms, you're gonna get a high number of leads. The quantity of leads that you're gonna get is typically pretty darn high. The trouble is, which this took me years to realize, is you're using what's called interruption marketing. So someone's on Facebook Marketplace, they're looking for a new lawn chair or maybe a new bicycle, and then they see, oh wow, there's a half acre out in Nye County, Nevada. And naturally they may be interested. Maybe this is something that they've been stirring on for the last few years, the last few months, and so they're going to reach out to you, but they weren't actually going out there to source a piece of land, right? There was no intent behind it. It just caught their interest and they said, oh, that sounds great. And this is what happens with the vast majority of the leads that you're going to generate on these interruption-based marketing platforms, which are going to be typically free marketing platforms to generate buyer leads. You're going to get a high quantity of leads, and most people are going to say, well, those leads, I get so many leads on Facebook, but the quality is so low. And it's not so much that the quality is so low, it's that you don't understand the hierarchy or the pyramid of really the buyer's journey that we're going to call it. Now, if we look at any industry at any given time, and I'm going to use fuzzy math here, but this is going to be pretty darn accurate, you could say about 60% of people don't even know that they have a problem, right? So let's say a problem in this case is, hey, I need to go buy some land because I need to get out of the city. That's the problem. The solution is buying land. You could say 60% of people don't even know that this exists. They don't even know that this is something that they would want for themselves. So those people are at the base of the pyramid in this case, right? Let's say we go up to the next 30%. These folks have just realized that they have a problem, but they haven't got started along the process of researching further. Now we're gonna go up one step higher, and the next 7%, they've done some research. They realize that they do have a problem that they wanna solve, but they haven't committed to any of the finer points, as in their price range, where they're going to buy a property. Maybe they don't have the money for it yet or haven't lined up the financing. Like some of the pragmatic details haven't been fully fleshed out yet. And then that top 3%, these are the people that have clarity and they know exactly what they want, and they are at the tippy top of the buyer's journey. They are ready to pull the trigger today if they see the perfect property. So on these platforms, people are going to say, God, the quality is terrible. What they don't realize is these leads are at different stages within the buyer's hierarchy or the buyer's journey. And so they're not nurturing or treating them correctly based on where they're at in that process. But here's the problem. If you're generating hundreds of leads that are at that bottom 60% or even that second 30%, those leads might take 30, 60, 90, maybe 180 days to convert because they need to be nurtured, they need their hand held, and they need to be taken along that buyer's journey to first identify that they do have a problem, then show them solutions to the problem, show them that you have the solution to their problem, on and on and on again. And this model applies not only to land investing, this applies to every single industry out there. So what ended up happening is we were getting all of these free leads. At first I said the quality sucks, and I realized no, my process sucks. I'm not treating these leads correctly. But the trouble was it took so much of my time or my team's time to go and actually nurture these leads. And then also the sales cycle was really, really long on these leads. Maybe we could convert a Facebook lead, but it would take us months to do it because we had to nurture them, we had to build rapport, we had to show them they have a problem, that we have the solution, that we were trustworthy, on and on and on again. And so what we decided to do about a year and a half into our land investing business is we started saying, hey, let's go pay for traffic. I know these free platforms are enticing because they're free, but let's go and start paying for buyer leads. So what we did is we started paying for leads and using what's known as intent-based marketing. We were going to marketing channels where we knew that the leads that were reaching out on those channels had real intent, and through that intent they were ideally at a different step within that buyer's pyramid. Ideally what we wanted to target were people that were at that 7 or 3%. We started using platforms like land.com or landflip or paid flat fee MLS services. So now our property started getting posted in places where the folks that were going to look at land there had done so on their own will, under their own accord. So let's see what that process looks like. Let's say someone goes onto Google and they say land for sale in Cochise County, right? So then the first result that pops up, let's say, is Lands of America. They go and click on different lands of America, and they say, I want a property that's between 1 and 2 acres. They put the 1 to 2 acres field in, and I'm willing to spend $10,000 to $20,000. Put the $10,000 to $20,000 field in. Now they're looking at land in Cochise County, 1 to 2 acres, $10,000 to $20,000. They've defined their search criteria. They know what they want, and they start reaching out to people that have properties listed for sale in there. Where in the initial example with the interruption-based marketing, someone was looking for a lawn chair, they see a piece of property and they say, oh, that's kind of interesting. Maybe I'd want to learn more. So while we're spending money on the front end, we have shortened our sales cycle, which means we can recoup our capital faster. So if we go invest $50,000 into a property, we can go and actually turn that property for 80, 90, 120,000, whatever it may be, in a matter of 1 to 2 months, opposed to going through that longer sales cycle by working with leads that are at the bottom of that totem pole. And maybe that takes 3, 4, 5, 6 months to go and actually get that capital returned back to us, which in this business, the velocity of our capital matters more than any other variable. The next thing is it requires less time from you or from your team to go and actually work and nurture those leads. So what we discovered is, although the interruption-based marketing platforms are typically free, there is a real cost associated to it, right? Whether it's your time or whether it's your team's time, if you go and factor how much time it takes to nurture these leads, follow up with them, have phone calls, email them, do that whole song and dance, it ends up being radically more expensive than what you would pay on the front end to use something where you're using paid traffic to find leads that have real intent. Right now we spend $2,500 a month on land.com. We spend about anywhere from $200 to $300 a month on land flip, and we spend anywhere from $500 to $1,000 on flat fee MLS services. So in total, we're about $3,000 to $3,500 a month that we're spending on paid traffic. And that generates for us about 400 to 600 new leads per month. And we're selling anywhere between 12 to 20 properties per month. Now on the flip side, we could say, hey, we could probably generate a similar number of leads for free on a lot of these other platforms. But on the back end, the amount of time it's going to take for an employee to go work through them, that cost for their time is going to be exponentially higher than that $3,000 to $3,500. And on top of it, it's going to elongate our sales cycle. Now I see a lot of folks that are in this business who try to penny pinch in terms of paying for quality leads. Do not let this be you. If you want to turn your properties faster, and in some cases actually sell them for more, because the problem is a lot of cases when you are using this interruption-based marketing, the way you're interrupting them and getting them to reach out to you is by pricing your property so low that it's just a no-brainer. It's an aha moment where they say, oh my God, this property's $1,500 and it should be $4,000. You're having to use price as a way to get them to reach out. Where when you're using these intent-based channels, in a lot of cases, they are reaching out to you because they intend to buy land there. They've already made their mind up that's where they want to own land. And so we can typically maximize the value of that property. We can turn the property faster, get our capital back, requires less time from you or from your team. When we look at all things combined here, it's obvious that using these paid traffic channels is where your money should be going. I do not love land.com. I don't love land flip. I don't love any of these platforms. I think they're just okay, but it's the best thing that we've got out there. And they're really the only platforms that have this high intent for buyer leads. Hope this video was helpful for you guys. If you have any additional questions, be sure to drop them in the comments down below. I'll catch you guys in the next video. Take care.